How web servers work. What is a web server? A web server is a software that listens for incoming connections and then utilizes the HTTP protocol to deliver what content to its clients. The most common web server software you'll come across is Apache, Nginx, IIS, and Node.js. A web server delivers files from what's called its root directory, which is defined in the software settings. For example, Nginx and Apache shares the same default location of var html. In Linux operating system, and IIS uses C inetpub www root for the Windows operating systems. For example, if you requested the file http www.example.com, so we requested the picture, it would send on what operating system? I'd see it's Linux. I see that's Linux, but yeah, it just says, for an example, it doesn't say the operating system, it just said the location. Yeah, so this is the root location of the web server. And there we have the request for a picture. Virtual hosts. Web servers can host multiple websites with different domain names. To achieve this, they use virtual hosts. The web server software checks the host name being requested from the HTTP headers and matches that against its virtual hosts. Virtual hosts are just text-based configuration files. If it finds a match, the correct website will be provided. If no match is found, the default website will be provided instead. Virtual hosts can have their root directory mapped to different locations on the hard drives. For example, 1.com being mapped to the... Okay, we see that it's changed. Website 1. The root directory is changed. And 2.com, it's var www website _2 and so on. There are no limit to the number of different websites you can host on a web server. Static versus dynamic content. Static content, as the name suggests, is content that never changes. Common examples of this are pictures, JavaScript, CSS, and so on, but can also include HTML that never changes. Furthermore, these are files that are directly served from the web server with no changes made to them. Dynamic content, on the other hand, is content that could change with different requests. Take, for example, a blog. On the web page, on the home page of the blog, it will show you the latest entries. If a new entry is created, the home page is then updated with the latest entry. Or a second example might be a search page on a blog. Depending on what word you search, different results will be displayed. These changes to what you end up seeing are done in what is called the backend with the use of programming and scripting languages. It's called the backend because what is being done is all done behind the scenes. You can't view the website's HTML source and see what's happening in the backend, while the HTML is the result of the processing from the backend. Everything you see in the web in the browser is called the front end, scripting and backend languages. There's not much of limit to what a backend language can achieve, and these are what makes a website interactive to the user. Some examples of these languages, in no particular order: damn emoji, are PHP, Python, Ruby, Node.js, Perl, and many more. These languages can interact with databases, call external services, process data from the user, and so much more. A very basic PHP example of this would be if you requested the website. We have the example.com and we request the index.php by the name Adam. If index.php was built like this: HTML body hello, PHP echo get the name, and then it will say hello name. It would output the following. So it would output the following to the client. You'll notice that the client doesn't see any PHP code because it's on the backend. This interactively opens up a lot more security issues for web applications that haven't been created securely, as you learn in further modules. Answer the questions below. What does web server software used to host multiple sites, virtual hosts. What is the name for the type of content that can change? Dynamic. Does the client see the backend code? Yay or nay? It's nay.